Hello and welcome to the Pro14 Round 6 predictions brought to you by DrivingMaul. Hi, I'm Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul, and thank you for joining me. So here we go, the games we have this weekend. Edinburgh host Zebre, Cardiff host Dragons, we've got Ulster Connacht, Cheetahs Glasgow, Leinster v Munster, Treviso v Kings, and then Osprey v Scarlets. It's been a bit of a surprising season this season. First off, obviously things have been shaken up by the addition of the South African sides, and we've had all the fun and games off the field with trips down there. Obviously players not having visas to get in, and obviously Scott Baldwin getting his hand bitten by a lion. What a wally. You don't put your hand in the cage and tap a lion on the head because it'll go, ooh, and bite it. And that's what he found. So he's out for a couple of games from that learning experience. So, but also we've seen the rise of the Italian sides. That's been a pretty quietly relative because obviously we've always been looking at the South African teams, but there has been an Italian renaissance. So we're going to see how that goes as well. Is that sustainable, or have they just had a couple of lucky games? We will see. So, talking of Italian renaissances, that's what we've got first up. Edinburgh versus Zebre. Now, Edinburgh have already lost at home to Treviso. Zebre are on a 2-game winning streak. They beat Ulster at home last weekend. Edinburgh are on a 3-game losing streak after winning their first couple of games. So definitely Zebre are in with a shout here, but having such a history of picking against Italian sides and that just being the rule, it's very hard for me to do so. So it's with not a lot of confidence that I'm going for the home win by 3 points there. Cardiff really have had a bit of a shocking start to the season. Only had one win out of the opening 5 games, and actually beneath, or would be, have got less points than Dragons, who have had 2 wins. But those have been at home. I think on the road, I think they're going to struggle, and I think Cardiff should take that one, and I'm going to back Cardiff by 5. We then have Ulster versus Connacht. Now Ulster lost at the weekend, last weekend, in Italy, and that's unheard of. But the first loss of the season. Crazy stuff is going on in this competition. Connacht struggling, only had 1 win out of the opening 5 games. So clearly under the new coach and stuff, it's just not panning out for them. So home win by 10 for me there, for Ulster to bounce back from that loss in Italy. Expect Connacht to be on the back of a backlash there. Next up, perhaps one of the hardest games to call of this round, Cheetahs versus Glasgow. Obviously, Cheetahs had those opening 2 losses on the road, but at home they have been very good. I think let's just try and use some normal language. With 3 wins on the trot, Glasgow are the last unbeaten team in this competition. So this really comes down to, for me, who do Glasgow travel with, and what kind of side do they put up? Do they actually do they rest a few players, as we've seen other sides do, or do they take this one very seriously? And with all of that in mind, I think Glasgow should beat Cheetahs. Cheetahs still are definitely a work in progress team, whereas Glasgow have got to be one of the challengers for this competition to win it all. So I'm backing Glasgow by 3. The lack of confidence there is purely about the travel and the long haul, and seeing who they take and whether they actually go with a full strength side or not. Then we go back to a game as old as the ages, a real traditional Pro 12 game, Leinster versus Munster. Both had really good starts to the season. Both have picked up 4 wins out of their opening 5 games, and this should be an absolute battle. If you're going to watch a game this weekend, this is the game to tune into. And I'm backing the home side to win that one by 5. I'd probably go exactly the other way if it was down in Munster. I think home advantage is going to be the key thing here. Next up is Treviso versus Kings. Kings have just been diabolical. Lost 5 games on the trot. Treviso have had 2 wins in their opening 5 games, and that's the kind of thing we'd expect them to have, number of wins perhaps all season in a normal season. So clearly they have stepped up and are going well, and they've still got players like Marty Banks and stuff to come in. So things looking exciting over in Italy for Treviso. And I don't think I've ever done this before. I'm going to back Treviso to win at home by 15 points. That's a massive margin for me, and I don't think I can ever remember ever doing that for an Italian side. Finally, Ospreys host Scarlets. Ospreys have been really disappointing this season, and they're losing all their players overseas at the end of the season or the next season, with Bigger and I've gone blank, but the scrum half as well. So you think this is the season they've got to do it because they're about to lose their axis, but they're clearly not. It's all something seriously wrong down in Ospreys country. Scarlets, reigning champions, 4 wins out of 5, going quite well, or going very well. So away win by 10. So there's my predictions. Please let me know your thoughts. Always up for good rugby chat. Share this with your friends, all of that kind of good stuff. If you watch on YouTube, give it the old thumbs up. We love that kind of stuff. So thank you for joining me, and enjoy whatever rugby you're watching this weekend.